Desjardin is a committed educator with a focus on the student-centered approach and academic leadership. With a background in a wide array of fields, Dr. Desjardin has developed a passion which lies in supporting her community through outreach initiatives. And Dr. Desjardin, you have the floor.
Thank you so much. I'm
Thank
super
you.
excited to be here this evening. I'm hailing in from New Jersey. Right now it's about let's see, about 10:45 my time. And so I'm super excited to spend the time with you for a little bit and then answer any questions you may have. Today we're going to talk a little bit about enhancing student outcomes, integration of experiential learning, and with a high focus on impact practices. We're also going to lean in a little bit in terms of maximizing engagement and achievement through real world applications. My name is Dr. Alaina Desjardin, and this is our scope of the presentation this evening. Focusing on these areas of importance from the development of frameworks that guide practices in experiential learning to really honing in on higher education, supporting effectiveness in strategies, focusing on student success, while hovering over these areas of need in terms of service learning, internships, research cultivations, and then leveraging into this experiential component with the taste of the theory, and then bridging outward for a conclusion and a call for action. We're going to lean into this presentation now. An introduction, which provides an overview and also sets the stage for the upcoming slides. We're in this world of education that's very rapidly evolving and changing, and that's very dynamic in terms of the growing mechanisms in as it relates to student success. We find as researchers in the field of education that experiential learning, with the emphasis on high impact practices, is extremely critical in terms of leaning in and leveraging into approaches that foster and focus in on what is coined as active learning. Additionally, leaning into what researchers really promote in terms of retention is this real world application, and this is in essence experiential theory and experiential components. We find a lot of our time focusing on these futuristic careers and providing opportunities for our students to become career ready and future college readiness. As we leverage out a little bit, we're going to be speaking about these equitable, successful components and also supporting students from a diverse background. Areas of concern that we'll discuss are bridging the gap between theory and practice, finding ways to be able to prepare our students for a competitive workforce, and making sure that we're preparing students with equitable outcomes for all our learners, allowing our students to really have a multitude of opportunities in HIP practices while hovering over critical career skills. These are all areas that we truly focus in when we're talking about experiential learning, high impact practices, and finding ways to really drive out fostering of active student engagement in our classrooms. Those classrooms come in the form of hybrid classrooms, traditional brick and mortar, and of course our online students and our online classrooms. As we sit here, we're going to find a moment of time and speak a little bit about high impact practices. These really refer to teaching methods and mechanisms that are honing into learning experiences that are shown to impact student success. The impact could be substantially in the form of practices that truly require active engagement, finding ways to connect the real world application, and of course, reflective learning communities and partnerships. Not only when we talk about HIPs, we're also talking about the ability to lean into the service learning techniques, finding ways to structure learning in a reflective component while allowing our students to bridge into hands-on professional experience with opportunities to develop collaborative learning, shared themes, and really opportunities for continued success in the college and career atmosphere. As we push out a little bit further, we're going to leverage into what exactly is in high impact practices. Well, it means a lot of different things to so many, but for here in this purpose, finding ways to be able to support our students with learning communities that extend beyond the walls of the classroom, that provide a taste of what their career, their potential career may be, finding ways to connect the community at large with the community in the classroom. And that's really where these high impact practices truly find success. It's through the research, it's through connecting with common experiences, through collaboration effects of capstone projects and work beyond that extension of the classroom. It's that real world bridge to, in essence, create a marriage between these two worlds in hopes that our students continue to drive out this process of inquiry and research in their career outside of the classroom. Finding ways to encourage teamwork, providing opportunities to leverage into these platforms and definitely showcase the achievements of our students in the long-term range. These are the high impact practices that as researchers in the field, we spend a lot of time searching and finding ways to continue this revolving cycle of supporting our students in this expanding learning culture. Now, where does high impact practices come in, and where does experiential learning strategies or theories match? Well, it's really the technique of the connection, finding a marriage between these two entities and the leverage among these two scopes. An experiential theory is creating a transformational approach through experience. It's that real world connection beyond the classroom where students are actively exposed to the developments that are happening by participation, by learning by doing, and also by a reflective protocol. As we lean into this component, finding ways to bridge in this theory and practice, by far, students find the most success. Having this connection piece, the leverage in, and the honing into making sure that there is a circular pattern from the classroom to the outside real world and then to cycle back again. These are the core elements that really set this theory afar from other theories that help connect these college and career readiness capabilities for our students. And David Kloeb, researcher, author, really sets the stone on this experiential theory that is kind of signified throughout this cycle effect of education. And we see experiential theory as not only an engagement for our students with direct experience and reflective components, but we really see the creation. We are, in essence, flipping on a light switch for our students and putting them in the create mode, and really transcending our students in an experience that not only taps into a knowledge component through transformation, but also the grappling effect of moving forward towards this component. Thank you. So what are these student reflective components and what are these research projects that we work on? Well, not only are we fostering this critical thinking and innovation, but we're also leaning into active research strategies and engagement to innovate, to make come alive, to continue to inspire and put insightful analysis to this, really puts ourselves in this mode of critical thinking. These higher order thinking strategies that allows for research to extend beyond the four walls of the classroom, to put the students out there in the real world, to continue to be a driver of success. And knowing that we can bridge out this academic capabilities and put these entities to practice. Having a leverage into theory, finding applications, and providing our students with the best possible learning environment that enables them to have future careers. This is where we're at in terms of student research projects, and providing opportunities for students to really get into their fields. And that's really an important component in this post-pandemic world of education. as we leverage out a little bit further, as we connect our students to these learning communities, collaboration is really the hallmark, the key word that we're really looking at in terms of the peer-to-peer learning or finding ways to enhance and collaborate these entities. It is the hallmark as we are leaning in to our students to offer them guidance and opportunities for continued success, finding ways to integrate, finding ways to infuse, and finding ways to continue to innovate our students through this process. This is experiential theory. This is high impact practices. This engagement that sets the critical thinking afar and above and extending beyond to this inquiry based brain motivation, where the engaged student is there, the motivation of the student is there, but the outcomes are actually tangible entities that students continue to strive out and seek on a daily basis. This is experiential theory. Finding ways to enable our students to connect through a capstone courses or projects, that application of knowledge that is infused in many different experiences, from the integration of learning through hands-on applications and obviously through the showcasing of skill. Not only are we able to drive in these hard skills in the classroom, the hard knowledge components, the theory-based initiatives, but we're also embedding soft skill components as well. And it's basically a marriage effect where the application of knowledge is then placed in a hands-on, skill-based, practical experience infusement. And in essence, the output of what's happening are these capstone projects, are these outcome entities where the enhancement of employabilities, of skills, or the likelihood to gain a bigger portfolio, which in essence would land a greater position or a placement in a job, is greatly available. Finding opportunities for potential growth through integration of learning, through the hands-on practical experience, and obviously showcasing of skills comes in many different forms. But as we know, application of knowledge is critical to success. And in essence, we're finding that through research, high impact practices are often there for online and hybrid models as well. The current theme of education, much like it was not 30 years ago, we are here now with the ability for flexible design, flexibility in learning, maintaining engagement through hybrid settings, and finding ways to infuse our students' knowledge components with the integration of technology. So we can offer not only brick and mortar opportunities for our students, but a hybrid approach that allows adaptability. And that's really where we're at in terms of technology. Advancements and practical solutions, providing flexible environments, but inclusive environments as well. So some challenges, of course, there's challenges in anything that we do, but for here, maybe some challenges would be extra support, extra guidance, but finding ways to infuse these digital tools, that's really critical as well. I was listening to the last presenter on here, and the presenter was speaking about some digital tools, which, for instance, leaning into Nearpod and all these other different advancements. These are all opportunities for continued success. Additionally, as we leverage out, we are also focusing on our future, the future protocols of how we can offer high impact practices in this evolving educational landscape. And it's finding ways to take our old school method of traditional portfolios and making this e-portfolios, or creating virtual internships and externships that will allow us to remain current and before our time in terms of technological advancements. Now, in terms of this learning cycle and reflective protocols, we have a lot of different theories that allow us to support this as a whole structure. But Kolb's cycle of action and reflection continues to be key in this experiential learning process. We have to find ways to continue to infuse our critical analysis for our students and definitely help shape their broader concepts and broader opportunities that will allow deeper learning to take place. Core principles of experiential learning allow students to dive into this active learning component with methods that ensure that they're immersing themselves in the experience. It's about this tangible entity finding meaningful ways, these impact protocols from internships to service learning to these bridges that will, in essence, close the gap between academic theory and practice. And this is where it's at in terms of research and entities. CLOBE 1984 has really set the stage from where we are 40 years ago to where we are now. Um, as we push out a little bit further, we find our ways to really enhance what we're doing in the classroom right now and making this a broader concept to the real world applications, supporting research in the form of fostering deep learning to critical thinking, and then in essence, experiential learning components provides leverage into transformational experiences inside of the classroom. This focused reflection and research provides opportunities for investment in learning. And so through research, through entities, we find that critical thinking, problem solving, and teamwork provides opportunities for HIPs to be fostered and also highlighted with inter and intra-personal relation skills of our students and our stakeholders, adaptability for sure, but also infusing this dynamic workforce. And that's really where it's at in terms of increasing higher retention in the classroom, and not only higher retention, but also graduation rates, right? And this is important in terms of this sustained component of critical thinking that will not also foster this hard skill dynamic, but also help with executive functioning skills as well, and one being communication. And that's really important. High impact practices not only hone into the hard skills, but also provide depth and richness into the soft skill development to continue to invest in the learning protocol.
Okay, Professor,
Hi, Dr.
we have,
Meyer.
hi, can we have 1 minute?
No problem. I'll wrap it up.
Thank you.
Thank
All right,
you.
appreciate it.
Thank you. We have learning communities and we have opportunities for engagement and collaborative effects. And some benefits will include active participation, finding ways to feel continually engaged in the classroom, and offering the ability to promote high impact practices in the classroom. A call to action. Why does it matter? Well, it matters because we want success in the classroom, and we will do this by offering, different professional development opportunities and learning experiences. So I thank you for being here, and I appreciate the opportunity to extend some research in terms of high impact practices. And it's really where it's at in terms of student-centered, preparation for the workplace, and institutional commitment. Thank you for allowing me to present for you this evening. I hope everyone have a great night. Thank you.
Wow, that was absolutely amazing.
Thank
Congratulations. That was a lot of information. Does anyone have any questions? This is the time. Go ahead.
The last two slides, if we can see.
The last, I can't.
last
Joni,
two. There you go. So sorry, I couldn't hear you. There we go. I have it up. Thank you. There you go, Dr. Meyer. Thank you. Thank you.
Dr. Delfino has his hand up. Dr. Delfino, what's your question?
I just have some clarification. Yes, I just want to know what kind of research methodology is used in this proposal.
What research methodology?
Yes. What kind of research is this? Yeah, the tools are very good and I really appreciate it. But I just want to know what kind of research is this?
Mixed. Yeah.
Yeah. What specific questions or research problem are we going to pursue in this kind of research?
It would be related to high impact practices in the current workforce, in the current educational services, related to our students of the 21st century, post-pandemic conversation. Yes.
So if it is mixed method, so definitely you will be getting the qualitative information. How are you going to do this one? Are you going to do interview. How about
Yes.
the quantitative part of the research?
Okay, so it would be interviews for qualitative. For quantitative, it would be surveys, responsives from survey response.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And another follow-up, we
Sure,
talk
sure.
about the survey. Who will be your respondents for this kind of research?
So this would be primarily the stakeholders within the schools, primarily students, and stakeholders involved with the students. It could be active students and maybe TAs as well, primarily students.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Doctor. I'm going to stop sharing this, Dr. Meyer.
All right.
There we go. Thank you.
Okay. And is there anyone else have any questions? That was a really good presentation.
Thank you, Dr. Meyer.
I think it's needed. I think there's a lot of things, that you brought to light that we can share into the classrooms and moving forward and having that high impact. You had a lot of great ideas, a lot of great suggestions, and we appreciate it.
Thank you, Dr. Meyer.